9 inches of rain in 48 hours. We've heard reports from spotters who've measured up to a foot of rain.
And tonight, the situation is dangerous in North Georgia. The Chattahoochee spilling over its banks into the town of Helen.
White County is under a flood advisory tonight, and earlier today, residents and visitors were ordered to higher ground because of a flash flood emergency.
Well, that's where we find Fox 5's George Franco tonight. And George, you were in Helen today when that weather warning took effect.
Well, Sine and Tom, when it comes to inclement weather in North Georgia, things move fast, including the Chattahoochee River right here in the heart of the town of Helen. When we got here around 6 o'clock, the river was at the sidewalk level here of the Troll Tavern. It has since receded a little, but not after, creating some big problems. The usually tranquil Chattahoochee River through the heart of Helen was anything but tonight, pushing with a force not usually seen in this alpine town.
We got about an hour's worth of rain, about 4 or 5 inches in an hour, and the river was already full, so you know what happens. It can't go nowhere but up.
Anthony Chambers was part of an impromptu cleanup crew clearing mud from a restaurant parking lot where a small slide and backup from the river created the mess. Across the street at the Troll Tavern, the water was pushing itself to the edge of the business, which had to close temporarily after a downpour.
We had a torrential downpour earlier, and it just kind of shut us down for an hour and a half or so. After that, the rain had got up on our sidewalk here.
Along the Hooch, trails are closed to the public for safety's sake. White County Emergency Services told us some back roads were closed due to high water and mud. Traffic on the main route into town had to be diverted because of the flooded road.
I just come on this afternoon about 6 o'clock and come into this problem here. I was told we had about 6 inches of rain.
Rain which inundated the river and creeks, flooding the local miniature golf course and leaving the Hardman Heritage Trail badly damaged. It also put a damper on the Helen to Atlantic hot air balloon race, leaving participants at the Hellendorf wondering about tomorrow after rains which had swelled the Hooch.
It's been a while since I've seen it up like this. I have in my lifetime. I'm a native of here, so over the time I've seen it even worse than this, where the fields were completely flooded. But this is up there, though.
And of course, the rising river levels tonight followed what happened yesterday when the Hooch was also at a higher level. Now the big question is what comes next with the weather and the river. We'll talk about that all new on Fox 5 News Edge at 11 o'clock. But for now, tonight in Helen, I'm George Franco, Fox 5 News.
All right, thanks so much, George. Well, people in White County have been watching the water rapidly rise all day. Take a look at this image that Kim Stansel sent us from Bear Lodge in Nacoochee. This scene is playing out across much of White County right now.
Wow, another video sent to us by viewer Gina Phillips tonight. This is from Helen this afternoon. The river wasn't the only thing flooding. The heavy downpours were turning parking lots into lakes.
And tonight, at least one person is dead. 2 people are missing in floodwaters in Virginia. Crews have recovered the body of one person who was swept away in a car by a flooded creek. The passenger still missing. A 3rd person disappeared in floodwaters late last night. The search has been called off for the evening.
And 2 people are dead after a mudslide causes a house to collapse in North Carolina. Days of heavy rain causing the hillside to give way, crushing the house in Boone County. The 2 victims were inside the home at the time. Their identities have not been released.
Well, there is some good news for anyone planning a trip to Lake Lanier this weekend. The Army Corps of Engineers says it is safe for boaters and swimmers to use the lake. It's welcome news for boat rental companies and other businesses around the lake. One company said they lost around $4,000 in boat rentals because some customers were worried about safety. But tonight, we're told the lake is perfectly safe and visitors are encouraged to come out and enjoy it.
Lake Lanier is perfectly safe. It's one of the best lakes in the country. It's perfectly safe for everyone to be out here boating. No dangerous conditions. If anything, it's safer than it's been in years because we are at high level. So a lot of the shallow spots that have made it a little more tricky in the past are all fully underwater now. So it's a great place to come out to.
Well, while Lake Lanier should be safe, the Army Corps of Engineers still warning people steer clear of the Chattahoochee River. They say all of the recent rains means that engineers will need to open Beaufort Dam and release water into the river. Now that's going to lead to much faster currents that only the most experienced boaters should attempt to navigate.